Hi, good afternoon. Myself, Dr. Sharad, working as an assistant professor here in ophthalmology. So, from today onwards, we will start your ophthalm lectures. Okay, yet your exam is not over yet. Still, we are going to start your lectures. Okay, so me and along with me, Dr. Supriya is there. So, we both will be taking your lectures. So, today it is just an introductory lecture so that and from next lecture we will start your proper syllabus. Okay, so today it is just an introductory lecture. Okay, so just I'm going to discuss the important topics which we are going to study this year. Important, all syllabus is as such not important. Important topics or the important topics are there which you should study, okay, thoroughly. Okay, so important topics which we will be there are anatomy and the physiology, optics of eye and refractive errors. These are most important topics. Disease of conjunctiva, disease of cornea, disease of lens, uvea, glaucoma, disease of retina and vitreous, disease of optic nerve, disease of adnexa, disease of motility, that is squint, community ophthalmology and the blindness. These are the, this is your syllabus for this year. Okay, and from these chapters which are the important topics that I am going to discuss today. So from the optics of eye and refractive error, the most important topics from this chapter are optical elements of eye, schematic eye, ray optics, what is ray optics, what is myopia, what is hypermetropia, what is astigmatism. You should study this. And then what is aphakia, what is pseudophakia, the ray diagram of each refractive error and this optical condition you should know. Okay, so these are the important topic from this chapter. Okay, next is disease of conjunctiva. From this chapter, the important topics again anatomy and the physiology of the conjunctiva, infective conjunctivitis, all types of conjunctivitis like bacterial conjunctivitis, fungal conjunctivitis, viral conjunctivitis, you should study. Then allergic conjunctivitis again important entity. Then neonatal conjunctivitis or ophthalmia neonatorum. Okay, again important topic. Then and the degenerative conditions of conjunctiva like pterygium, again very important topic. Then penguicula. Hmm? These are the important topics that we will see from conjunctiva. Next is disease of the cornea, again a very important chapter. Again anatomy and the physiology of the cornea important. Okay, factors responsible for the transparency of the cornea. Okay, why cornea is transparent? There are certain factors which are responsible for this, so you should study that factors, you should remember. Okay, congenital conditions of cornea like microcornea, megalocornea, again important topic. Corneal ulcer, bacterial corneal ulcer, fungal corneal ulcer, viral corneal ulcer, viral keratitis, again a very important topic. Degenerations of the cornea, dystrophic conditions of the cornea, ectatic conditions of the cornea like keratoconus, keratoglobus. Okay, again a very important topic. Next is keratoplasty. What are the indications of keratoplasty, the procedure of keratoplasty, the contraindications? Again, these are the important topics from cornea. Okay, the lens, this is the lens. It is again a very most important topics this for you. Okay, anatomy and the physiology of the lens. Then factor responsible for the transparency of the lens. Cataract, the most important topic here. What is cataract? It is clouding of the lens, you can say. Or the loss of transparency of the lens. Again, the etiopathogenesis of cataract, what are the clinical features of the cataract and management. Okay, and the most important management for cataract is surgical management. So we are going to see which are the different types of cataract surgeries, which is which are important cataract surgeries. Nowadays phaco is the most advanced surgery. Okay, what are the complications of cataract surgery, what is after cataract. So all these are the things we are going to see in lens. Again, in that subluxation of the lens, causes of the subluxation of the lens, dislocation of the lens. Okay, this is again important topic. Then anterior lenticonus. These are the different topics which are important from the diseases of the lens. In uvea, again anatomy and the physiology of the uvea. huh? The important topic in uvea are anterior uveitis, intermediate uveitis and the posterior uveitis. huh? For ug, anterior uveitis is the most important topic, remember. So etiopathogenesis of the anterior uveitis, clinical features of the anterior uveitis, investigations. This is the again very important topic. Investigations of the work of the uveitis. Okay, again important topic, and the treatment of uveitis. Then intermediate uveitis, posterior uveitis, here we are going to see. Then purulent uveitis, endophthalmitis and ophthalmitis. Okay, this is again we are going to see. And what is sympathetic ophthalmitis? So these are the important topics from the uvea we will be discussing. Okay, next is glaucoma. Again, next to cataract, this is one of the second most common cause of the blindness. The most common cause of the blindness is cataract. Next to it, this glaucoma. So again, a very important topic. Here we are going to see the pathogenesis of the glaucoma. What is glaucoma? How it is diagnosed? What are the different types of glaucomas? What are the primary glaucoma, secondary glaucoma? In primary glaucoma, again we are going to see what is primary open angle glaucoma and what is primary angle closure glaucoma. Congenital glaucoma क्या है? Okay, these are the topics we will be covering. And after that, what is the management of glaucoma? Again, management is divided into medical management and surgical management. Okay, so these are the topics we will be discussing in glaucoma this year. Disease of adenixa. What is adenixa? Adenixa is structure that are located outside the eyeball, or the globe, you can say. So it include obviously lid, lacrimal apparatus, and the orbit and the orbital contents, you can say, other than eye globe. So in that lid diseases we are going to see ptosis. What is ptosis? What is entropion, ectropion, blepharitis kya hai, sty kya hai? We are going to see all this. In disease of lacrimal apparatus we are going to see what is congenital NLD block. Okay, what is acute dacrocystitis, what is chronic dacrocystitis? These are the important topics that we will be discussing. And few diseases of orbit like thyroid ophthalmopathy, that we will be discussing. Okay, in diseases of retina we will be discussing diabetic retinopathy, hypertensive retinopathy, again important topic. Hereditary macular dystrophies. Okay, retinopathy of prematurity, important topic, remember. एज रिलेटेड मैकुलर डिजेनरेशन और ARMD भी बोलते हैं उसको, ठीक है. ऑप्टिक न्यूराइटिस क्या है, पैपिलोडिमा क्या है, ऑप्टिक एट्रोपी क्या है, कंजेनिटल डिस्क एनोमलीज क्या है. सो दीज आर द इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स फ्रॉम डिसीजेस ऑफ रेटिना. Then community ophthalmology. Community ophthalmology includes, mainly it includes the programs which are designed, which are mainly focused on the eye diseases like National Program for Control of Blindness, Vision 2020. Other programs also there. We will be discussing that. And vitamin A deficiency. Okay, these are the important topics that we will be discussed from community ophthalmology. Okay. Then what is blindness? What are the causes for the blindness? Causes for the blindness in children are different, in adults are different. In elderly population, causes of the blindness are different. Okay, so in adult and elderly population, we can say the most common cause for the blindness is cataract. Second most common cause of the blindness is glaucoma. So there are different causes for the blindness. Then what is legal blindness? What are the definition according to Indian scenario of the blindness? What is WHO definition of the blindness? That we will see. Okay, so these are the important topics that we will be discussed this year. Okay, so today it is just an introductory lecture, and I will just start with the anatomy of the human eye. So just in short, I will take a anatomy of the eye. Okay. uh, Okay, so today we will just take an introduction of the anatomy of the eye and few anatomy of the few structures. Okay, so as you know, the human eye is most important sense organ. It's the most important sense organ. It allows the vision. You know it. Human eye helps to provide a three-dimensional moving image normally colored in daylight. Okay, human eye can differentiate between about different 10 million colors and is possibly capable of detecting a single photon. So it is a very sensitive organ. It is most important sense organ. Okay, so we will see today anatomy of the adenixa. Okay, so as I told you, adenixa is structures that are located outside the globe. So it includes lid, orbital content, orbital muscles, eyelashes, eyelids, conjunctiva, and the lacrimal apparatus. Okay, you can see here external parts of the eye. Uh, Here you can see eyeball and the ocular adenixa. Laterally you can see lateral canthus. There medially there is medial canthus. At the medial canthus there is structure which is called lacrimal caruncle. Upper eyelid is there, lower eyelid is there. The space between upper upper and the lower eyelid is called palpebral fissure. Okay, that white part is sclera, and overlying that sclera and uh, underlining your lid, there is transparent membrane that is called conjunctiva. You can see the transparent structure is central transparent structure is cornea. Central black colored circular part is your pupil. Pupil is just a you can see circular defect in the diaphragm, and the colored part is iris. So this is the external parts of the eye. You all know this, I think. Next is orbit. Orbit, as you know, it is a bony socket that holds the eyeball, and it is made up of different types of bones. So it is made up of 7 bones: frontal bone, sphenoid bone, okay, zygomatic, maxillary, ethmoidal, palatine, and lacrimal. So these are the bones. Uh, this bone forms the orbit. Okay, so orbital cavity is directed forward, slightly outwards, and slightly downward. It consists of base. Base is it corresponds to anterior open end of the globe. Margins, these are made of 3 bones: frontal bone, zygomatic bone, and the maxilla. Apex, it is directed towards the optical foramina. Okay, and walls, they are made up of walls of the orbit. It is There is a roof, there is a floor, it is medial wall and the lateral wall. Okay, if you see the dimensions of the orbit, volume is 30 ml. Orbital rim, horizontally it is 40 millimeter, vertically orbital rim is 35 millimeter. Intraorbital width, it is the width at the rim is different, and in the orbit width is different. Width is maximum at the rim. Okay, so intraorbital width is 25 millimeter, extraorbital width is 100 millimeter. Depth, medially it is 42 millimeter, and laterally it is 50 millimeter. So laterally it is more deep. Ratio of the volume of the orbit to volume of the globe is 4.5 to 1. Okay, 4.5 is to 1. There are certain surgical spaces in the orbit, again very important. So orbit is divided into 4 surgical spaces: subperiosteal space, that is space between the subperiosteal membrane and the bone. Okay, peripheral orbital space, or the extraconal space. It is this is a space located between the periosteum and the outside the muscle cone. Okay, central orbital space, or the intraconal space, the space in between the extraocular muscle. Actually they form the cone behind the globe. So space between these muscles is intraconal space. And next is subtenon space. So these are the surgical spaces in the orbit. Eyelids, so eyelids are just a skin fold. Actually, they are the skin fold that covers the globe. And the function of the eyelid is main function of the eyelid is protection of protection of the globe is main function. And the next main function is redistribution of the tears. Okay, when we close the eyelid and then open it, so of closing and opening, actually it occurs for the redistribution or the wetting, redistribution of the tear, for the wetting of the cornea and the ocular surface. Okay, structure of the lid. So layers of eyelids are skin outside, then subcutaneous areolar layer. Next is layer of striated muscle, or the orbicularis oculi muscle, submuscular areolar layer, then fibrous layer or the tarsal plate, and the most posterior layer is palpebral conjunctiva. Okay, there are different types of muscles in the eyelid. So orbicularis oculi, which helps to for the closure of the eyelid. LPS muscle, that is levator palpebralis superioris muscle. It acts as a elevator of the lid. Okay, and the next important muscle is Mueller's muscle. This Mueller's muscle is not under our control. It is under a sympathetic supply. Okay, so Mueller's muscle is mainly for the elevation of the eyelid, mainly first 2 millimeter elevation of the eyelid. Okay, there are different types of glands in the eyelids. Meibomian gland, they are 20 to 40 in number, highly modified. So mammalian glands are sebaceous gland, remember. They are 20 to 14 number and located within the tarsal plate. Okay, so these mammalian glands are also called tarsal glands. Then Gis gland and Moll's glands. Gis glands are minute sebaceous gland, remember. Again, these glands are also sebaceous gland, but they are minute, smaller in size. Moll's gland, they are sweat gland, they are not sebaceous gland, remember. In diagram you can see a location of sweat gland and the mammalian glands of male. Okay, blood supply of the lead. So superficial structure and deep structure, they are supplied by different arteries. ठीक है. Superficial structures of the eyelids supplied by the free anastomosis from facial artery and superficial temporal artery, while the deep structures, they are supplied by four palpebral arterial arcades and two, they are supplied by four palpebral arcade, two in each lid. So medial palpebral arcade is there and lateral palpebral arcade is there. So medial palpebral arcade, it is derived from dorsal nasal branch of ophthalmic artery, and lateral palpebral arcade is divided from the lacrimal artery, which is a branch of ophthalmic artery. So okay, so this is arterial supply of the lead. Okay, the venous drainage, superficial part or the pretarsal veins drains via the interfacial veins and superficial veins into internal and external jugular veins respectively. Okay, deep or the posttarsal vein drains directly into cavernous vein. Okay. Lymphatic drainage, lateral side of the lid, it drains into preocular and parotid lymph nodes, but the medial side of the lid, it drains into submaxillary lymph nodes. If you see the nerve supply, motor supply, facial nerve, facial nerve is then oculomotor nerve is. The facial nerve supplies the oculi muscle. Okay, orbicularis oculi muscle, and oculomotor nerve mainly supplies the LPS muscle in the lid. Okay, sensory, it is from the trigeminal nerve, and sympathetic to the Mueller's muscle, as I have told you. Okay, so for the protection of the eye, there are various structures there. The important one is lid. So other structure which aids in the protection of are bony orbit, eyelids, eyebrows, eyelashes, tears. So all these are the protection for the globe. Okay, so today we will stop here. In next lecture we will continue this lecture. Okay, and the Dr. Supriya will start with the disease of conjunctiva. Okay, so we will be posting these videos on YouTube, and I will be sending you a link of that video to you, so you have to see that video. Okay, so this is enough for today. From next lecture we will continue with the remaining part of the anatomy and physiology of the. Okay, so thank you.